It is what it is.
Yeah.
Welcome to Humanity Unboxed. Good morning, Michael. It is lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, as
I
usual.
missed
I mean,
you
it's like,
in
yeah,
yeah.
we were a week and a half, right? We were a week and a half, didn't talk,
Yes,
and so much
yes,
happened. It's just very funny that more and more happens in short of amount of, and we call time, but there is no time. But
yeah,
what we call
yeah.
it's more and more happens, and I think and there's so much. Did you see that stuff that I sent you with that board where the natural thing goes into a board and always gets into a sinus wave? It's almost it almost was the we can add the link on the bottom, because
Yeah,
it's amazing because you start trusting life. You say,
yeah,
the chaos and the stress is
yeah,
always getting you to a higher possibility. It doesn't get you to a lower. Because every time you
yeah,
get through a crisis, you're better afterwards. You're more aware. You have learned stuff. And this global crisis is saying we're ready to shift. We're ready to go. Humans get ready for a new perception, for a new way of living, for human centricity, nature. To realize, because in the old days they killed animals, they think, and now they're actually standing for this, a living being. You can just kill it or abuse it, and this
yeah,
awareness, I mean, there is two
yeah,
there is masculine, man and woman, to procreate, but people don't see
mm,
themselves as only uh, in the system, in your thing. I don't see myself, let's say, I don't see myself as a man. I see myself as a woman, or I see myself
mm,
as a non-gender or something. Those are expressions that
yeah,
come from awareness that I don't fit what a woman is, and no woman should ever fit like a woman is, because you're human first, right? You're human first, and
yeah,
then you
yeah,
and then you are also a woman, and you also from England or in South Africa. You also that, but
yeah,
that just gives me a guidance where I understand you better, the communication better. I understand. Oh, I understand why she feels that way or whatever. It gives you more information, but it is not that you say, oh, there is only man and woman. Yeah, in the physicalness is that, but not in what I
yeah,
feel, and what we express in the thing is our feelings. I feel I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm Labor, so
mm,
so so you feel that, and then you take that, you resonate more with that energy, that coming to
yeah,
energy. You
yeah,
feel more with that energy.
yeah. And I think there's a lot of that where your label of me is not about me, it's about how you understand me, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it doesn't matter who I am in this necessarily, because
yeah,
you need to create a system or tap into the system that you've created for yourself, which is
yeah,
obviously flexible, but
yeah.
you need to find a way to understand from your perception, and not create a box for me necessarily, or for whoever we're
It's like,
talking
oh,
about.
she's just a woman, she's just that. She's a,
Yeah.
like man. I always, man, and then you get this collaborative,
Mm.
and that collaborative system. What comes out in the system? So when a lot of people feel, and we have talked about this, when 1 billion people feel the Earth is flat,
Yeah.
doesn't make it flat. It's the opinion versus reality.
Yeah.
And we all
Yeah.
see reality different either. Also, so when the thesis is flawed,
Mm.
and this I talked in the quantum physics discussion. When the
Mm.
thesis is flawed, everything else is
Yeah.
flawed too,
Yeah.
right?
And
So
this is a lot around science, isn't it, in general? Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I've never known that when you can't repeat something, you have to make it abstract. You have to created, and then it's not nature created it, but the scientist created it to repeat the form and then make a certain level and say, okay, we proved this. That must be pretty much true. It could be, but we know nature is not linear, and we know, and that's why what we talked. I said, we talked about the laser. That was interesting. When we say the laser is straight, is that but we know, you and I know, that the straight way is not the right way. It's not the fastest way. So if we go like this way, this could be faster. And they find that out now about quantum. That quantum is not straight. It can be anything, And I hope I'm not going to that people don't understand, but I'm talking to you basically.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not, if people want to understand, they can make their research. Yeah. So I think that the speed of light is not the fastest.
No.
Which that's what the light speed of light is not the fastest because it's straight. Because light is the property of light is it's going straight. Laser goes straight.
Yeah.
But there is no straight line in nature.
No.
So it's just one of the properties of light that it goes straight or that is captured straight. But I think we're gonna go nonlinear.
All over the place. Exactly.
Harry, be happy.
Yeah. But this is the problem that I usually have with measurement, because we have assumptions when we start measuring. So in psychometrics or in psychology or in science or whatever, we have this curve that someone decided is the curve, and they've collected some information, but it's impossible to collect all the information. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So even when we were going through these hermetic principles and these things, it's really hit home with me that all truths really are half truths. So we have to face for.
Didn't we say that the highest truth is that there is many truths, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we said that, right? We said that the highest truth that I can comprehend with my awareness is that there are many. And I thought also that when you look from the non-duality, which we talk a lot about it, when you come to that space that we are all the collective consciousness. We are all a part of the collective consciousness. That's the one. Mm-hmm. But because I have a different perspective than you, the difference of the duality of the two perspectives teaches us to grow, and that's how the collective consciousness grows. So that's why you cannot do everything in the mind. We cannot say, "Oh, I have an art in my mind." I said you have to do it to really ground it in to have it, make it real. To make it real for you. Because I can say, I know I'm gonna, it's so easy to be an artist, or it's so easy to be a carpenter. No, you have to actually do it,
And this
not
brings
just have the theory,
to the fact that we are really, for me, the only thing that we can be sure of is that we are here to experience things. We don't know the rest. We don't know where we're going in the space after this. We don't necessarily remember or know where we come from, but we know that we are meant to experience life in its fullest, which is not always your
It's not
way.
always like going out and be crazy and bungee jump. That's not what that means. If you have a desire, if there's a fulfillment in you, if there is a joy in you to say, hey, I want to skydive. I don't have that feeling. I'm afraid. I said, why would I expose myself? I don't have a feeling of going on roller coasters. I said, why would I do this that I'm not passionate for? And there's people that are passionate for a roller coaster. I mean, they're more scared than I am, but they do the roller coaster because they have the passion, they have to do it. And in that is something. See, in the difference between me and them is something, And by communicating about it, see, communication comes in this, because language is so limited. We talked about that too, that we actually communicate. I said, Michelle, I was in the jungle and there was the spider, and you know, and then people tell me, for example, that we're in the jungle. You know, Masadi told me, uh, it's so loud.
Yeah.
He needed the quietness, and he couldn't be quiet there. You know, because it was so loud. It takes the energy takes you over.
Yeah.
That,
And this is now coming back to the energy element, because it
yeah,
feels like, in general, maybe this is my perception, so I don't know
yeah,
what
yeah,
general necessarily means,
yeah.
but we are tired, you know, we're tired. There's a lot of drain on our energy levels. I mean, we are changing seasons and we are going through all these cyclical things and rhythmic things, but yeah, it takes a lot of energy to maintain a certain level of, I
It's
don't know what the
balance.
word,
It's
what's the
balance.
word?
It's balance and
Yeah.
harmony always.
Mm,
Nature's, and we're part of it.
yeah.
Always, I'm not separate from it. We have balance, and we created systems. And the digital, you know, by the way, the digital ID. Just
Mm,
look at India. They have tried it. It is horrendous
yeah.
because they
But
found out now
this
with
is a
quantum.
sidetrack, Michael. They just want us to be sidetracked with nonsense like digital
Exactly.
IDs.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's because the digital ID is a control tool.
Mm,
There's nothing else. And it is inhumane. It's an inhumane control tool because you see that in India. Also, blockchain. They say, oh, blockchain is guaranteed. No, quantum computers can crack blockchains.
yeah.
So, uh, there
Nothing
is no
guaranteed.
absolute. There is no finite.
No.
People cannot accept. And this is what I did. You
Mm,
have to accept that nothing is done. The Mona Lisa, you and I could do a lot. And see, there's comes.
mm,
If I get the Mona Lisa to paint over it or make it complete for me, and
yeah.
you take the Mona Lisa to make it complete for you, is what Rick Rubin says also. He says, if I have one script, AI makes pretty much the same movie. If I
Mm,
have give one script to 10 directors, it's got to be total different because
yeah.
and the comparison of that is the growth. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. You know,
Mm,
oh my God, I didn't think. Oh, you did that with Mona Lisa. You put a hat on Mona Lisa. You know?
yeah.
And I said I worked on the background because I'm enamored with the background of Mona
Yeah.
Lisa, not with Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So just the two perspective of that, and
Mm,
then we talking about it. That's why communication is the second superpower, right?
yeah.
Creativity first.
Yeah.
I think that's what we found out till now. It could be something else, but
Yeah.
right now the communication is the dialogue. That's what we actually do.
Yeah.
An open dialogue that is not, hey, you should do this, I should do this, whatever. And by the way, there's no shoulds
No.
because we are 8
No.
billion people. I cannot say you should do this. Oh, when I
No.
lived in England, that's what you have, what I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 3 times in England, and
Yeah.
every time my perception of England was completely different. And
Yeah.
my conception now from England, because I love England, the English people, because they're so human, you know, a lot,
Mm,
and that is completely different too. So I have 4 perception of England alone.
yeah. And yet, if you had to come here and spend time in
Live
my
would be another
environment,
one.
you will have a
Would be
completely
another,
different
and would be
perception.
another perception where I live.
Yes,
Because if I live
exactly.
in Surrey or in Wales, it's
Yeah.
completely different. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And the connection that you make with the people around you would influence that, or my perception
exactly.
of
There's
the people,
nothing finite. There's nothing
exactly.
absolute. And when you can surrender, life becomes so much easier. There's
Yeah.
nothing finite. You just live it in the now, whatever happens.
Yeah. And yet we conditioned to, we want to plan and we want to make things better and we want to change and we want to do these things.
But that's
And
good.
there is a space for that, definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. It's a
yeah.
space for everything. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
we couldn't do planning if it was not existing. If it's not
Yeah.
existing, to do a plan for the future. Because even if you do a plan, it's the thing is to make it dependent on me. So I say, I want to be a millionaire
Yeah.
and I can't do it. Then I see myself as a failure. No, in that wanting to be a millionaire, I learn stuff
Mm.
and I experience stuff. It's never the end to be a millionaire,
Yeah.
because otherwise millionaires would never be unhappy taking drugs or
Yeah.
whatever. They wouldn't do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also it's a path. And
Yeah.
if the
It's
path attracts you, like the parachuting or the bungee jumping, and the path that gives you joy. See, this is the other thing. You,
mm,
even if it's not the joy and you just do it for the end, it's your way, and you
yeah.
have to experience it. You know.
Yeah. And now I want to bring in this aspect that we keep coming back to, is this fear of living,
Yeah.
because within that space of us making plans or wanting to change things or whatever, it seems like we often follow a script, and it's not
Yeah.
always our script.
Yes. And
Yeah.
also, what's very interesting on that is, uh, it brings us back to system relevance versus human centricity, because
Mm.
the system relevance is about the herd. It's about how to manipulate the herd. So when I have people that, we go back to our tribal thing, when I have people that take care of horses,
Yeah.
they are specialized in horses, and they're not specialized in that horse, but
Yeah.
still your horse and my horse could be different.
Yeah.
But the guy says, usually I treat horses, and Michael's horse is completely outside. And you see that, like humans, they're completely different.
Mm.
Because you got to see that there is no there is no oneness in the tendering of physical reality. There is no
Yeah.
one thing that works for everyone, other
No.
than gravity. But gravity, I
It's also
think. Well,
different
how
because
do I know that gravity is not different for you than for me?
exactly. How do I know you see color the same as I do? Or, you
No,
know,
we know that scientifically, that red for me is different from for you. So,
yeah.
but we have our human connect. See, that's why AI is so weak. AI
Mm.
can help us in a lot of stuff to find our uniqueness, to find the stuff that you and I talk,
Yeah.
uh, or to prove it, or it's like to prove it, or but even proving, how we talk about statistics,
Yeah.
they are tools to make a point,
Yeah.
to give it attention. When I say all these poor people have no homes,
Mm.
that's the thing. You see that too, but it
Mm.
might not be as relevant as for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Because of experience, though. Because,
Exactly. The
yeah.
experience is what gives you knowledge,
Yeah.
and that's why it's very, any education is very limited, because it
Yeah.
generalizes, and also it triggers. That's why you and I work on the education. The
Yeah.
education triggers a distortion because it's generalized versus an individual. I educate Michelle,
Mm.
and I educate Joshi. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You can never, as long as you're not getting that we're 8 billion people, and to let go of that, but you have to fit in the box. That's why we called humanity unboxed. You
We
can't
don't.
fit it.
There's no should.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can dance in the box. You can
Yeah.
enjoy the box. You can grow in the box.
Mm.
If you have to box something, do it in
Depending
a
how big
way.
the box is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
make it in a way. But if the thing is like Earth is flat, right? If I make it more real to nature, that's actually, science should study nature, because then we would understand, and you and I do that, and you
Yeah.
would understand. Hey, there is some. It's not linear. It's non-linear, and the
Yeah.
fastest way might not be a linear straight line. That is not the fast pace, but physics teaches that.
Mm.
Geometry, they teach the straight line is the shortest way. It's not. It
Yeah.
is not
Shortest, but not necessarily fastest.
fastest. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and not
Yeah.
the one that you can do. So I can probably run straight on a straight line, But if it's different, I'm psyching me out because saying, "Oh my God, I have the wrong path," and
Yeah.
she's gonna go faster on the mountain than I, yeah,
Yeah.
because she has a helicopter to go straight,
Yeah.
and I have something else to go up there.
Yeah. And that, I think, has a lot to do with our fear of living and our the drain on our energy, is that we think there's a right way.
Yeah, there is no
I'm
right
so,
way.
yeah, that I'm not doing it right. I don't know
Yeah,
how to do this. And a lot of it is just accepting that aspect of letting go of the fact that there is no right way, really.
yeah. There is
Yeah.
no right way. There's your way, and
Mm.
with which you resonate. I resonate to go hike up there. So,
Yeah.
and the other person is to fly up there. It might be faster, but is it about faster? See, this is another thing. The world gets faster because faster, bigger. The financial principles, that our survival, and I
Yeah.
think the financial principles make us being afraid of life, of living,
Mm.
because no human on this planet should live to worry about getting enough food. I'm saying enough food, enough sleep, enough water, enough oxygen.
Yeah.
That there should not be so that we can experience and create art, allow that to, and experience that.
Yeah.
And by that the collective consciousness grows, because it says we have tried this, doesn't work. I mean, it's in nature too. If it doesn't work, it dies out.
Yeah.
It dies out, and it goes another way, because we need balance. The collective, see, collective also, when you don't see it as collective,
Mm.
that's brings a lot of fear. When you
Yeah.
say, oh, just that I do my AI right, then everything is right. No, you have to bring AI into nature. You have to connect the two into nature. How can they dance in harmony and balance?
Mm.
Then you're not depressed of, you bring so much in. By the way, this is not me talking, this is us talking, because
Yeah.
it's amazing, the detail. The more I go into detail, the faster it goes up, and systems go into detail.
Yeah.
They're not getting into awareness,
Mm-hmm.
they're going into knowledge. But if you haven't done it, the knowledge doesn't help you.
No.
No.
And complexity. So
Yeah.
making it more complex,
Yeah.
kind of, um, the word is not working.
Intricate.
It distracts us from the awareness of the bigger picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I don't need to, as a human, I don't need to know where water comes from,
Mm.
but I have to bring it into context of, I need water,
Yeah.
I need
But
air. I don't.
it helps me to know where water comes from, because then I know that I can collect rainwater. So
Exactly.
it empowers me as well.
Of course it does. But if you don't need, you need water. If you don't know that you need water, if you're not aware that you need water, that you need oxygen, that's why you exploit the earth,
Yeah.
which you also forgot that you're part of it. I mean, when you go so into details that you forget that you are part of nature. See, everybody say, "Oh, climate and this and this and this." That's true, but it's not. It's not true of no, experience it, knowing it. When you one day you wake up and you can't breathe. I mean, the people in Beijing at the Olympiad, where they had to stop all cars. The Chinese
Yeah.
are very good in adapting. So to the
Yeah.
system stuff. And they had to literally at the Olympics in Beijing, they had to turn the people couldn't drive. You couldn't breathe. And when you're a sports guy, you really knows that when you're in the sports,
Yeah.
you really know. Oh, I can't breathe.
Yeah. But because you have a connection to your own body, and you know that if I
Yes.
drink water, I feel better. If I
Yeah.
have fresh air,
Yeah.
I
I feel better.
feel
If I
better.
if I need nutrition, because you're eating junk food all the time, and all of a sudden somebody gives you, and you don't even. This is because we're so adaptable. If it's not
Yeah.
McDonald's, you don't like it. right? And then you, I mean, there's people that, and it's so funny. There's so many people that actually did, 30 days on just that and say, I'm good, I'm good, and good, and they proved that this is nutrition. It's not natural. And for
No,
you, it could be. For you, you could be
yeah.
living on McDonald's. I couldn't. You know.
No, me
I,
neither. I can't even eat it.
no,
So
it's not to
yeah.
make them bad. It's not to make them
No, no.
bad. It just is. But
Yeah.
but it shows us we're so adaptable as humans that we say, okay, I just submit. I just allow this happen to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying revolute, but know what's you. It's not, I want to save the world. Nobody wants. If you're a human in nature, the ants don't want to save the world. That the elephants have something better to do. They're just doing
Yeah.
their job. When they do their job, it's all set up. That's right. That's
Yeah.
why this we gotta put it in our notes. That thing, because when you see that, it's random chaos. All these bubbles going, all these pellets going in, and then they come out at the
Yeah.
end, and always in the same form.
Yeah.
So the balance and harmony, which is the biggest power that we know, it's not power over you or you over me.
Mm.
The power that we know, it's set. That's why you have to experience life in the now. You cannot think, oh, what would I do now? Because then you talk about already you're in the lack. If I want a million, I'm confirming that I'm in the lack. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I want a
Which is so,
girlfriend, if I want a
yeah.
girlfriend, I'm saying I'm a lack, and there
Yeah.
is no lack in nature. There is no lack in the universe. Otherwise, the universe would implode and we wouldn't exist.
Mm. But
And
we
that's why,
created like through our system. Well, the systems that we created
yeah,
thrive on the fact that there's scarcity and fear and
absolutely. And then we talked about this was money is one of the like the wheel and the fire. Money is one of the best thing to make more, to live more, to experience more, a
mm,
different life, or to grow the human potential.
yeah.
But if money is always a debt, then the whole world is in debt, which is now. Then it's always a lack. So we have scarcity lack, a scarcity lack for the whole humanity,
Yeah.
because nobody is enjoying to have $1 million worrying that he doesn't get the next one. And that's why you do inhumane things.
Mm,
You do it, and that the result of that is people are afraid of living, because when you can't afford your power, when you can't afford your water, when you can't afford your housing, you go into that
survival
in the
mode.
collective, and then you feel it and I feel it, which
Mm,
amplifies it again, right?
mm,
And then your husband feels it, the friends
mm.
you have feel it, then the lack is confirmed. So if you and
Yeah.
I just think, okay, we want more money, it's it's one thing. But when when the system makes everybody feel like that, because there's some people that do it, and they're not bad, they just have to learn that themselves. They're unaware.
Yeah.
I mean, look at now. What is all this stuff? We have the third world war. What is that? It's where is the nature in this? See, when you force yourself. I'm not you, Michelle. I'm not you. I will never be you. If you can,
Yeah.
if you can let go of that you are part of me and I'm part of you,
Yeah.
then we can look at things in a different perspective, and that perspective is more joyous.
Mm,
I mean, just our connection that we have to animals, right?
yeah.
How fulfilling that is to actually don't see that, all dogs are stupid, all cats are rodents, or whatever. I mean, there's people that have rats as their pets, and they're
Yeah.
super sweet. And I don't feel like having a rat as a pet, but I love
I've
dogs
had a
and I
rat
love,
as a pet. It was
yeah,
very clever. Yes, it's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's and the fear of life. See, and this comes by the systemic, when you don't segregate the system relevance and the human centricity. I'm not saying segregate and saying they're not worth it, They're worth it. But the
Yeah.
human-centric is what we are, what nature made us to be.
Mm.
And then you have to, and you see it with kids. I see
Mm.
the little kids jumping in there, like 4 years old. They're jumping in the water. They don't have their things on. They
Yeah.
just have no fear. They
Yeah.
just experience, and perhaps they have to, almost drown to figure that out, that they need to swim. And
Mm.
then at 7 years old, they're already conditioned. You know,
Yeah.
they're already conditioned. Then that makes you a conditioned fear of life.
Yeah.
And when you have a conditioned fear of life, what happens is nobody wants to go into war, or people go into war to just die, and nobody cares for living.
Yeah. Because war is, what did I just say? Glory is glorified. War is
Yeah,
glorified.
yeah.
Because it's the noble thing to do, and it's patriotic, and it's all these things that it's not.
Yeah.
It really isn't. And
Who
why would
have you ever met?
anybody do
Who
that?
have, other than soldiers and politicians, who have you ever met that told you, Michelle, I can't wait to go to war. It's so important.
Well, young boys are often mind
They
washed,
want to
brain
matter.
within that.
Humans
They
want to
want to
matter.
matter. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And what kind of society do we live in that makes you matter? I mean, not my kind.
Destruction matters. I mean,
Um,
that destruction and domination, which is exactly opposite that you and I
yeah,
speak of,
yeah,
that all of a sudden is where in nature happens. Look, if nature would constantly have wars, I would say, okay, it's just a part of nature. We just have to fight each other. But it's
well,
not.
they don't fight each other. I mean, when there's a big bird of prey coming over the house here, the chickens go and hide because,
Yeah.
you know. But this afternoon, I was looking out the window, and there was a squirrel and two chickens, and the squirrel found the nut next to the chicken, and the chicken kind of looked at him like,
Exactly.
"Who are you?" But that's also fine. And then there's a magpie, and everybody is experiencing the world from their perspective. The squirrel is still looking for his nut. He doesn't really care about the chicken, you know, because there's no threat, there's no fear. He knows that the chicken is also just doing his things, scratching around for food.
Yeah.
It can all exist very happily within that space. But now, if the bird of prey doesn't have food to eat, then suddenly there's lack, and the chicken knows now I'm in danger, and they know to go hide. But it's not coming to, attack them. It's coming to feed itself. And
Yeah.
yeah, war is the opposite of any of those
Yeah.
things.
And I think we got so far system relevant that the system relevance has conditioned us to not want to live, to be afraid, or not want to live. We want to live because we say, hey, that's an instinct in the DNA. When you say, I want to survive, but that's why fight, flight,
Yeah,
we lose our rational thinking and kill each other,
yeah,
ultimately. But that is not a natural balance. We have that in. So when I go into an extreme, I have to defend myself. If you have the
yeah,
cutest animal and you push it the animal, a rabbit starts, they start voicing it and stuff.
yeah.
And when you have that and put it in a corner, but should, my question is, should we live as beings in fight flight that creates fear of life?
Yeah, but now just thinking about this, so this is how we conditioned, sitting
Yeah,
around the table as a child, and you don't finish your dinner. It's like, oh, but there are
yeah,
African children that are starving. How dare you not eat your food? Okay, I need to eat my food. So
yeah.
there's how can you be happy if there's a war going on there? So there's this constant guilt
Guilt,
and
guilt,
shame and
shame.
survivor guilt, and
Guilt amplifies the shame.
I shouldn't be happy because other people don't have the privileges that I have, or whatever it is. And
And
where
why
do
do rich people do not show their wealth?
yeah,
They really, when you have I mean, when I grew up, the wealthy people, they never say, why don't you talk about money? That's the thing.
Yeah.
You should say, hey, I make $3,000 a day, a month. You should
Yeah.
not say, should. There we go. See, I'm so conditioned. I use the verbiage.
Yeah.
No, because it's you should say whatever. I mean, whatever is. And
Yeah.
you have 5 children and I have no children,
Mm.
and you have 8 cars and I have no cars. But I
Yeah.
have a wonderful girlfriend. I have a wonderful my connections to humans are one. It's different. Whatever you choose, you can do anything you want with harm to none, and that's the harm to none is always kind of whipped away.
Yeah.
Because if you consider that you always should see that's human to look harm to none, it's becoming too complicated to go in details.
But harm to none also include you, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, because you were, and that's why I love the thing from Bouchard that he says, non-existence is defined of non-existence, and it's full already. There is no, when you exist, and if you don't believe the universe, your existence is worth anything, then you can have that too, because love always is unconditional, right? The universal love is unconditional. You can think you're the worst person, you're the craziest thing. I talked yesterday to a friend of mine, very good friend, and I said, how can you say you're not good, and how can you say you need to learn and think to get that? You have to be system relevant to live? No, enjoy living right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a perfect place for us to
to
end this wonderful conversation.
Oh my God,
Thank
that
you.
went far. Whoa, see, we went out of time and space.
Yeah. See, there is
That's
no
just insane. That was 37. I wasn't even looking.
exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. That was very
A lot.
very nurturing. It was very good, yes. And it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That's the resonance. Sometimes the rhythm works and sometimes not. The whole universe with it. We have spring, fall, we have summer, and we have our preferences in those years, but basically make everything wonderful.
Yeah. Or experience it for what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it
You have
doesn't
no choice anyway. I cannot say I don't want winter.
No.
You
I can say
can't
it, but
say
it's not
that.
gonna work. It's not gonna
Yeah.
work. Yeah,
Yeah,
winter
you
is
can
still
make it really miserable. You can make if you say I hate from a lack, say I hate winter, you really confirm everything, and you will pick out your essence will resonate, your energy will pick out the hardness of winter. But there's people that say the hardness of summer, same thing.
Exactly.
Everything is okay, trusting.
Yes, trusting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Till the